outer chaos. Often I found in addiction and recovery that the outer world can be a challenge sometimes. When the outer world is chaotic, that can be a challenge to our internal world. So I really have found in my own practice that a meditation practice is so vital to being able to stay centered when there's outer chaos, when there's inner chaos. That allows us not to ignore it, absolutely not to ignore it, but allows us to be present and then meet whatever's happening with some sort of centeredness and some sort of alignment, because that's the most productive way to move in crisis and in turmoil. And whether it's something seemingly small or something seemingly systemic and big, that when we can get ourselves centered, that this isn't only good for us, it's good for everyone around us and for those not around us, because it's so resonant and our energy is so resonant that whether it be our family or our community, whenever we can be aligned and be present, then it's just what we're looking for. That's going to be the best case scenario. So with that in mind, let's get comfortable. So whether you're in a seat or whether you're sitting up on a chair or sitting on a bolster or anything like that, just take a moment to get comfortable. And comfortable will look a little bit different for everyone. I'll tell you a little bit how I kind of like to set my body, and you can just see if it feels good in yours. I like to press down through my sit bone. So anything that's touching the bolster or the chair, press down, and then you can kind of even see how that lifts me up just from pressing down. I find more space. And close the eyes down. You can lengthen the back of your neck and then also lengthen down the tailbone and see how that feels. Often the curve of our spine is like hyper exaggerated, like we're leaning forward too much, or we have our tails tucked too much. There's all these different ways that we sit. So you can spend a little bit of time trying to find somewhere that feels centered and feels sustainable. Roll the shoulders up by the ears and then down. So often using this contrast can feel good. So by pulling them up, then we can really feel what release feels like. And then let's squeeze on the muscles of the face. So make it look weird. Squeeze your eyes, squeeze your lips, your mouth. So feeling this contrast and then releasing. So that can help using the contrast to find a sense of release. Hands can go palm up, palm down in the lap, anywhere that feels comfortable. Sometimes I like to choose the way that my hands go based on the energy, my energy that day. Sometimes I will bring them palm up in my lap if I'm needing to be accepting or welcoming or receiving. And then sometimes I'll place them palm down on my lap if I feel like my energy is really buzzy or really frenetic and I need to ground. So maybe that resonates. And then let's begin to bring the attention to the breath. And we'll use the breath as our anchor point today. And I've talked about anchor points a little bit. Anchor point can be anything that's happening in the present moment. So often it's the breath or a sensation or one of the senses. Something that you hear or that you feel, but we'll use the breath. So the breath is always happening in the present moment. And whenever the mind starts to go into story or into past or to present, then you can kind of come back to the anchor point. It's that attachment to the buoy, to that safety line back into the present moment. Notice the energy in the body. So I love to use my meditation practice as a place to check in. So checking in with the emotions in your body, with the energy in your body, knowing that it changes all the time. So this check-in is so vital, that we are always shifting. And the more that we can learn about ourselves in these quiet spaces, in these still spaces, then we can begin to respond to the world around us rather than just react. When we know that we're angry about something, or we're grieving, or we're feeling not enough, when we can really touch in and identify those feelings, then that allows us to navigate that and to navigate our responses to the outside. Like if I know I'm angry about something, maybe I will choose not to have that one conversation. Or if I'm feeling like not enough, maybe I will realize that I need to, something that would be more supportive would be to do something kind to myself rather than entering into a challenging conversation. Many different ways that we can begin to navigate, but we learn about our emotions and our feelings first. And that's something that we can really lose in our addiction. Speaking personally for me, something that was really challenging to get to know was how I was feeling. And often 6 years in, it's still a challenge. Sometimes I often notice it in hindsight. Like, oh, that's what that was about. So it won't come quickly. Often it won't come easily, but incrementally, we begin to notice and learn. And a little caveat or asterisk as well. Whenever we're checking in with the feelings and the emotions in the body, see if you can stay to the physical sensations and maybe labeling the emotion rather than going into the story. So can I notice that I'm feeling sad today without having to go into all the reasons why I am, or what happened, or who did it, or who made me sad? Just that I'm feeling some sadness. So maybe see if that changes things. Coming back to the anchor point, so coming back to your breath. And often I'll just, even speaking to myself in my head, I'll just say, inhale, exhale. And that brings me back to just right exactly what is happening. We can't breathe in the past or breathe in the future. So this is such a beautiful anchor point. Maybe give yourself a little gratitude for just showing up and sitting down. This is the hardest part I've found, is just the getting going and the creating space to get to know ourselves a little bit better. Sometimes it feels fluid and sometimes it's like herding cats. But it's such worthy place for our attention. And like I said in the beginning, it resonates out, it reverbs out, and it's such a gift. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and just notice, still noticing, taking the noticing out with you, and how you feel. So welcome any comments or questions about how that was for anyone.
Oh, Nancy.
There should be a little microphone in your
I got it. I said, that was delightful. I feel so very relaxed. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel very centered and grounded. So.
Good. Well, thank you all. And yeah, I encourage you to try to carve out a little time. Go ahead.
I said thank you. I feel good, better.
Beautiful. It's interesting how quick it can be sometimes. Yeah, beautiful. 10 minutes. Wonderful. And I will see you all. Hope to see you all next week. I hope we have a beautiful week.
Thank you all.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.